Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. This is my beautiful wife, Tina.
We shouldn't do that when we're laughing.
Over here, we got Tommy.
How did we start like that?
I don't know.
Every single time.
Over there, we got Mike.
Is this thing on?
Yes, it's on. It's working.
You won't even see. They won't even see what we're laughing at until the blooper roll in December.
Nope, that's the beauty of it. Keep them guessing. All right.
Probably January, though.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, it'll probably be December. Anyway, welcome. Another episode.
Hola.
We got a fun
Bienvenidos al... No.
Tina's going to be translating what I say.
No, I'm kidding.
Our Twitter account is at CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe to Countdown City Geeks. You're supposed to translate that in Spanish. CCG WrestleCast. And
Wow.
today we're going to be recapping
Terrible.
I'm not fluent and even I'm offended.
NXT TakeOver Toronto and WWE SummerSlam. And we're hitting the 1 year mark. We're hitting the 1 year mark on the WrestleCast, guys. Can you believe it?
Yay!
1 year
1
anniversary. Woo.
Everybody
do inflatable tube man.
Mike.
I mean, I wasn't
Come
here
on,
for
Mike.
the
You
whole
were
year.
great at this.
It's okay.
This is only like my 9 month.
No.
It don't matter. You're still part of it.
Anyway,
Before we get
into that, we are going to be recapping first the G1 Climax tournament. It's done. It's over.
And my pick was right.
Mine too. Yes. Wow. What a finish, man. Tommy,
Yeah.
you're the New Japan guy. What do you think of it compared to other tournaments? First of all, there's no draws on any of these matches.
There was no draw. That actually shocked me. I thought for sure there would at least be like two.
Okay.
Go
Goes to Tommy first.
Yeah.
I guess so, too.
I loved it. I thought, you know what? I loved it. It was one of the most unpredictable G1s I think I've ever seen. Because for one, I thought Tina was right. I thought Moxley was going to go straight to the finals until
It looked that way.
until Yano showed up.
Oh, man.
And tied his feet together. That jackass. Oh man! But the final match between Ibushi and White was fantastic.
It went over 30 minutes,
Yeah.
too.
Perfect heel Jay White. He's like the best heel in wrestling right now. He's such a good bad guy villain. I love it. And of course,
I will debate that.
and of course well, he was until a certain betrayal happened during the night, which just utterly broke my heart.
That was probably the more shocking thing about it. Before we get into that, though, I'll say this. Kota Ibushi, if you don't know, won Block A on a tiebreaker, having beaten Okada head-to-head.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Jay White pretty much came from behind and won Block B. They went head-to-head. Ibushi won. Ibushi becoming the first in New Japan history to win the Best of the Super Juniors, the Super J Cup, and the G1 Climax.
And the New Japan Cup, I think.
New Japan Cup, excuse me.
Yeah.
I might have meant New Japan instead of Super J.
Okay.
So
yeah.
either way, man, he's the first to complete that, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He has said he wants to challenge for both the heavyweight and the intercontinental titles.
That surprised me.
Which, with Wrestle Kingdom this year being 2 nights instead of 1, I wonder if he'll headline both shows. That's going to be interesting.
I doubt it, and here's why. I
Okay.
think night 2 is going to be headlined by Liger no matter what, because that's it for him. That's his very, very last match.
Okay.
So unless they, because he might not. Liger's usually a guy that's for like the younger stars to shine. So he might not headline it on purpose, but
All right.
but no, I either way, he might headline both. He might.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He has also said he's going
Why
to.
don't you put the stats thing?
Because it was just, I had it on the back. It was easier.
But we go in order, and I'm over here confused. Like,
I know, but at least we'll flip it back. It'll be fine. So anyway, he has said he's going to defend the G1 certificates against Evil and Kenta.
Yeah.
Kenta just joined the Bullet Club.
Why? Why, Kenta? Why?
Supposedly it was on recommendation from Finn.
Ah.
I mean, that's probably true, but why?
Well, when we woke up that morning and saw the results, we were more shocked by the fact that
You okay, Tommy?
Kenta had Kenta had joined the Bullet Club. I think that shocked. I told Tina what happened, and she's like, "What?" That was a big shocker. That was more shocking than the Ibushi winning. So
very. I mean,
Yeah.
God. I okay. Swerves in wrestling are hard to do these days. That was a swerve.
yeah,
Because even in Shibata kind of re-debuted, I didn't know he was willing enough to do that much because he beat the crap out of Kenta for like 2 minutes before the rest of Bullet Club jumped in. It was like, where did that come from? I mean, it's a good business move. It's going to work out, really, I think, in the long run. But damn! I was so heartbroken over that. I really was.
like I've been reading, it seems like it really helps Bullet Club get back to like
It does.
their
Celebrity
their
status.
pre-elite.
Yeah.
Well, not their
Like a-
celebrity, just like going like when the Young Bucks and Kenny and Cody and them kind of came in, they got more high profile, but especially with the Bucks, they kind of just made it more
Mainstream.
like literally fan friendly, and mainstream, and this is just getting back to what they started as. It's just like rebels that go and beat everyone up and just kind of roughshod over things.
Although
and,
I will mention, someone made the point that New Japan fans were treating Kenta like an outsider when he showed up, so he just joined the group of guys who were considered
outsiders,
outsiders.
yeah,
and that never
makes sense.
And that never occurred to me until someone pointed it out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me, it was just worse because they beat up Shibata to get there, and to me, like Shibata's a saint almost. It's like, no, don't.
that's how you get heat, brother.
I know, and it worked beautifully. So.
Well, here's the interesting question.
The Budokan Hall crowd booed him out of the building almost when he did that.
With Kenta getting a shot at Ibushi's briefcase, do you think that Kenta could possibly take it from him and be the one to challenge at Wrestle Kingdom?
I doubt it severely.
Okay.
Because it looks like what they're trying to set up is that Shibata is well enough to have at least one more match. So if anything, I doubt he'll win it because, despite maybe outside interference, because Shibata's close with a lot of guys, Shibata himself might interfere. So
Okay.
I
I
doubt.
have no idea who Shibata is.
He's the guy who
All I hear is Shibata, and I think Shibata red.
he actually helped train Kenta to get ready to come into New Japan. He was a big deal for a couple years ago, but he got injured like badly. Like he kept using too many headbutts. Like actually, that was like literally the problem.
Ouch.
And he had to stop wrestling. And it's been about 2 or 3 years. And so and rumor is he's been trying to come back because he's actually in charge of the LA dojo for New Japan.
Okay.
Like he runs it. Like everyone goes there and trains under him directly. So like any of the American guys you see lately, they're from the LA dojo, have trained directly under him. So
All right.
yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. Well, great tournament. Let us know your thoughts. Definitely tweet those at us. Let you know about the G1 Climax. It's going to be interesting. The road to Wrestle Kingdom already gets a little crazy.
Yep. And it starts in August.
Yeah, the Super J Cup has been announced. They're bringing it back. We know what the first round matches are. Next week, just a little preview, we're going to be doing a little bracketology thing here where we pick out a whole bracket. So
Duke goes out in the second round. Oh wait, wrong bracket. My bad.
Okay, question.
yeah,
Am I gonna know anybody?
you will know some. You
You'll know
will
a few people.
TJP's in it. TJ Perkins.
Oh,
Video
Yes.
game kid.
Yes.
I was like,
Will
who?
Ospreay, Amazing Red. You'll know.
because I'm saying if I don't know them, I'll probably be like, I'm not gonna.
Jonathan
be this
Gresham.
Gulak or
No.
Gulak.
It's funny. It's funny.
one. I have to do research.
There's
and
some
then I don't
names
know
and there's
about
some
this.
up and comers. So, there's a few luchadors here as well. So,
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Lucha.
Lucha. Now, on to NXT TakeOver Toronto. Kicked off
More my
SummerSlam
style.
weekend. Yes,
Yeah.
Martinez
Or-
style.
No, not my style, but more I pay attention to.
Yes.
you know people is what you're
I
saying.
know people's. I know people's. No.
This kicked off SummerSlam weekend in Toronto, and
I did horrible with these picks. Oh my god. I was like watching the show. I was like, damn it.
we'll get to that. First,
Yeah, you did.
what did everybody like about the show?
Everything.
Yeah,
I
we
actually did like this show
I
thoroughly.
Well-
Yeah.
we'll talk about Candice LeRae and Io Shirai. We all thought that was going to steal the show, and
that
it
was
damn
great.
near did.
It was so close to my match of the night, the whole thing I was watching. Because
We knew Cole Gargano was going to be good. I don't think a lot of people thought LeRae Shirai was going to be as good as it was.
I
know?
did. I did.
So-
We did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. But
We did, but we didn't expect it to be like.
Yeah, intense.
If you don't count Cole and Gargano, like it stole the show.
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Like before that, like, and how to say this, but in the nicest way. But the other female match was not that great.
Well, you can put that on things we dislike. the story that Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler were trying to tell just didn't fully make sense to me.
It was really awkward.
It was
a lot of mistakes in the
early
match.
on. Yeah,
Mia trying to cheat a bit, and it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't fully kick. There was a little lack of chemistry there.
Yeah, it
And,
seemed off at the beginning, and that there. I guess she was like, "I'll do whatever I need to," but
Yeah, it was
and I heard someone say this is like with Shayna not cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That Mia's supposed to be the face, but she's just cheating the whole time, and it doesn't
it
really
didn't make sense. And
make sense.
I think we said that too in the video package. It even said like she was saying, "You can't win without your two girls," and her beating them up to like so they're injured, so they don't. And then she loses clean.
Yeah.
It was like that made no sense.
Yeah, that was that was a confusing booking on that one.
And then plus, like
Makes
we've
Mia
said-
look weak.
We've
Yeah.
said for a long
Yeah.
time, every Shayna match just comes down to her getting the clutch and whether people can get out of it. And like, there's no variety to it. There's no that. I mean,
She doesn't have a
she
finisher,
lost by a
finisher.
pin, right? Like, there's no finisher. There's no multiple falls. I mean, there was a couple early on in her first reign. But recently, it's all kind of been
And
the
a
same
stroke
thing.
of luck too. The whole getting out of the cage because she got hit with the door and just kind of passed out and fell out.
right,
Which was a great finish. But
That's because of Cage.
yeah, so this match was just awkward. It kind of sucks because I feel like it's gonna knock Mia down quite a
that's
bit
true.
because she didn't come out looking very good.
Yeah.
That was the only match that I was kind of like, "What the heck is going on?" and bored.
Yeah.
Because it was,
Sadly.
and I understand too. They put it right before the big main event where you're gonna have a lot of big moments, and maybe they wanted to slow it down. But there there were spots that you could tell that they messed up, and then they try to do it again, and even the second time wasn't that great. And I was
No,
like,
you just got to keep going.
But you could have a slowed down match and it still be good. I mean, Zack
I
Sabre.
think-
Slow down, bring them
And
up.
be honest
yeah.
with you, I told JC this. I kind of looked a little bit like Mia was a little nervous.
Possibly.
Maybe.
She hasn't really wrestled on that big of a stage when you think about it.
And I go, and I include the Impact with that too.
Yeah, because
That
The
was-
she
close-
never wrestled the
The
crowds in
closest
Impact.
she
that
came
did.
was, I think it was a show in like somewhere in Asia where she won the Shine Championship. Was kind of a bigger crowd than what she's used to, and that. Excuse me, that's about it. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that lights and that production. And
Yeah, it's
everything,
true.
Yeah, that's a different
yeah.
thing.
I do want to add one other thing then that I heard about the whole thing is that back when they had to switch the June takeover because of the Saudi Arabia show,
Yeah.
that threw off their taping, and the tapings that led up to this, instead of doing 2 separate sets, they had to do 6 weeks of taping in 2 days. And
Jesus.
supposedly Bel Air was supposed to be again, and that had to get changed. And there was another, so Mia kind of, and there was another thing that kind of got changed, and that's why this, like some of these things seemed a little odd. It got thrown off because of the Saudi show, and then having to move that takeover to like the beginning of June, and
That's weird.
yeah.
So do you think Bianca Belair gets a shot at Survivor Series weekend? Because that would be the next takeover.
I mean, it kind of has to see what happens at the tapings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like a lot of people, like either LeRae or Io, would make the most sense.
You?
They're the hottest
you mean
ones right
Io?
now.
EO maybe, but
Io?
I've always think it's awkward if you have 2 heels wrestling each other.
Yeah, and that's weird because her being a heel now.
Well, it
Arguably a better heel than Baszler.
It may be
Yeah.
it may be awkward, but I think Io's coming off as this like
Psychopath.
Pissed
yeah,
off.
yeah it's like
I like her new music, by the way.
Shane
new look.
is just more like super aggressive than cheater. Io's coming off as just like I have completely lost all sense of empathy for people.
Yeah.
like Shayna at least has her friends.
Yeah.
Like she has her girls having her back. EO has gone. I can't even say full Joker on me because at least Joker, kind of shows caring for Harley Quinn sometimes. Maybe.
Back to things we liked. Velveteen Dream's entrance.
Oh my God! Yes, that was great.
That was the best
I'll
thing.
give you a little context. Tina and I went to Cincinnati
no
this weekend,
sense
and we
whatsoever.
were at a
You missed
baseball
it.
game when TakeOver was going on live, but we were
You
getting
missed
like
it.
on our group message. Michael's like, "Oh my God, the Velveteen Dream's entrance!" So on our flight back Sunday, we were watching it on the network, and we are just cracking up when the mounting music starts playing.
Try not to laugh hard.
I was
we're in an airplane and people can hear us chuckling. And we're just
so even for even more context, I couldn't watch it this weekend because the stuff was going on. So I couldn't watch it until like I was at work, and I was like, "What is actually happening?" Right?
That was awesome.
That was great. It was good.
I still
came out with the Toronto Raptor cheerleaders, which was funny. It was
hilarious.
The whole entrance was great. He's
Velveteen,
charismatic one, man.
It is kind of funny that
I love the suspenders too.
the WWE did a lot of Raptors interaction this weekend with stuff in Toronto.
Yeah, Elias was awesome.
Yes, I was just going to mention that.
We'll get to that. So good stuff. Pop of the night, probably Adam Cole, I would say. He was
Undisputed Era is like super over
in Toronto. Yeah.
Or just
definitely.
I mean in general in NXT, but yeah, I mean there too and
most heat, that was tough to call.
I'd probably say
I don't know.
Honestly, these people loved everybody.
Yeah,
they're kind of that kind of crowd.
Maybe Shayna, I guess.
Maybe
I don't know.
Shayna,
Maybe
just if you had to pick somebody,
People were just frustrated, I think, with that match too.
But they were pretty 50-50 most of the night.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
And
especially that main event.
The only other thing I hated seeing was Dunn taking the pin.
Oh yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know if this was part of that rushed booking they kind of brought in, but why do you bring him back over just to eat the pin? I was like, okay.
That's true. Match of the night on our poll: Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls, 67%.
That was hard for me to pick.
We knew the first 2 going in, straight 1-on-1, then into a street fight where they fought all over, and then what is the third fall going to be? A freaking barbed wire cage.
And weapons
with weapons.
They did a good job of hiding that too.
Yes.
Well, from the
cameras.
From the cameras. Yeah.
I was gonna say from the time the doors opened, they were starting to have tweets come out. They're like, "There's a big cage covered, up in the rafters, and it's covered or whatever." And
that's true because after the second fall, you could see the crowd. People like, "Hey, look up!" So
that's funny.
And I thought it was just gonna be a regular cage, but you see it come down with the weapons and the barbed wire, and then then they did that great swerve where you see the bag and you're a wrestling fan, you're like, oh, there's tax.
Yeah.
But it wasn't tax. It was brass knucks, which I was like, oh, William Regal.
Yeah.
And then the wire cutters to get the barbed wire.
The power of the punch.
The handcuffs, yeah.
And they said escape didn't even matter, so I was like...
Nope. Pinfall submission, no escape.
Although after he cut that section, I thought that was going to be a way for one of the Undisputed.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, too. Actually, I was thinking the same thing. I like the finish. The finish was pretty fun.
The finish was great.
It's funny because that's almost similar to the Shane Miz finisher from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know that they're just so dead, one just kind of falls onto the other, but
okay.
It worked a lot better.
Who else kind of petted because it looked like they almost missed both tables for like a second. It looked like they completely missed the second.
And then when you watch the replay, Cole actually took most of it.
Cole took most of it as a scrape on his back too. Lower back. He had this scrape right there. It was a light blood. It wasn't gushing, but it was still
the flesh wound.
Yes.
Oh, real quick. On this past, I think it was this past week episode of Being the Elite, someone was wearing an Undisputed Era T-shirt, and they were teaching the Young Bucks how to do the sign, and then I think they said like "Rest in peace" to you know who, because on the show they killed Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's true. Fat bastard. That's funny. As for our pick results, Mike and Tommy both went 2-3. Tina went 3-2, and I went 4-1.
Damn it!
Yeah, buddy.
Which was the one you got wrong?
One I got wrong was where is it? Velveteen Dream. Tina was the only one that got that right, actually. The rest of us picked Pete Dunne.
Velveteen Dream.
Yep, I got the rest.
Come
right.
on, man.
So, all right, on to our WrestleCast ratings from 0 to 5. 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. For those that don't know, we just kind of throw a little rating out and average it out. Mike, we'll start with...
I try not to laugh at that dumb joke, even though it's still funny.
Mike,
crap.
We'll start with you. What's your rating for TakeOver Toronto?
I'll probably go like 4.5 again. It's like they're always solid. I'm not, it wasn't necessarily one of the best takeovers, but it was still an amazing show. And again, there was only one match that you're like wasn't as good. It wasn't even horrible.
I thought it was.
So, I think I felt like they picked it up at the end. Like it was definitely slow and stuff, but they
I think it's also because I don't like the fact that they keep ending it the same way.
Well,
that's
fair. But Mia pulled off the
new.
the code red from the top rope, and They tried a few more stuff. He power bombed her at one point.
And real quick, I know we didn't talk about it, just the opening tag team title match was pretty good.
Yeah,
I just want to give them props because I know that they went out there and just did their job, which is like to open the show. And it was a really good match, you know.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. So sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your rating, Tom?
No.
I'll go 4.5. I for the same reasons as Mike. It was a solid show. Like the women's title match was whatever. But other than that, it was a really solid outing, and I really feel bad about the women's title match. It's not like they're bad; it's just that this booking is really weird, and that's one of my thing always WWE. Because even for my loathing for Brock Lesnar, I honestly can't put all that blame on him. I mean,
he's done what he's told. I get that.
He does what he's told, and he's booked how he's booked because he can make that money. God bless him. I can't blame for that. The booking gets on my nerves. That's all.
But let's talk about that in the next part.
Believe me, we will get there.
Tina, your rating?
4.5 also.
Okay.
I agree and disagree. I know the booking has a lot to do with it, but I also feel like if you are, been wrestling a while already, then you know how to fix those little things. I would hope.
That's true.
I would hope, and the wrestling part is not necessarily what they book. They book who's going to win, and maybe they tell them how to win,
and how much time they have,
but they have to build the story in the match.
Yeah, but how to win is like you said is one of the major problems with Shayna Baszler's matches. And
that's another thing. I felt to me watching that match that they wouldn't even like almost if they didn't have a conversation about it.
Oh, okay.
Especially at the beginning. The beginning looked like they were just lost. There was times where Shayna fell down when I guess there was supposed to be a spot there. There was another spot where Mia was supposed to like throw her back or something, and they messed up. And
Shayna just ran by her, and then they did it again.
Then they tried it again, and I was like, did they not talk about this match? It looked like they were a little confused. That was my only thing. Yes, they did get a little bit better at the end. They had a little bit more like, okay, we're gonna do this kind of thing. But same thing. I'm getting a little bored with Shayna winning the same way. And I get that they put on the screen submission magician, but she does the same submission.
Dude, I would love her
To
character
win.
so much better if she came out and did card tricks. She's the queen of spades. She's such a
freaking Gambit up in here.
I did.
That would add to it.
And the only submission magician in all of wrestling is Zack Sabre Jr. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I also noticed, and I don't know if you all noticed this, when she got up to, when she came out, she got in the ring, she did her symbol or whatever, and she whispered, "I am the Queen of Queens." And mind you, the next night was Trish and Charlotte. So I don't know if she was kind of calling them out, or maybe in a way she was saying, I'm coming for you.
Maybe she said, I like the King of Queens, and she's like a big fan of the TV show.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
I don't know. I saw, if you go watch it, you can see her word, I'm the Queen of Queens.
Okay.
Which, it could set up something down the road. So especially with Survivor Series looming.
So my thought process is still that she's going to be moved up, and they're just going to, she's going to, relinquish the title. Yeah. That's my thought. And
I could see that. Makes her strong coming onto the roster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes Shayna look strong.
Maybe after Sasha, she'll be with against Becky. I have no idea. Or maybe they're going to have her with Bayley. I have no idea.
My rating is a 4.25. I'm a little tougher critic on TakeOver. I got to say it. If you expect a lot from this, and a women's title match, I expect a lot from that. And it's not to say you're bringing the TakeOver is a little different from a WWE. They'll use a match before the main event to bring the crowd down, but this TakeOver is usually high, like just high intensity the whole night. So
yeah, that's true.
If they're going to bring you down mid match, they'll bring you back up. And I never just got brought back up with that match. So a little bit on me was 4.25, averaged out for our total WrestleCast rating 4.4375. Not too shabby. TakeOver. So, how did SummerSlam follow that? Next night, same arena. No cheerleaders this time, though. But Elias did do a great job taking a shot at the city of Toronto.
There was some pyro, too.
It was some pyro, exactly. That surprised me, too. And how much heat more does Lesnar get? Oh, great. Lesnar gets a pyro, right?
Goldberg did, too.
Goldberg did. Usual. Yeah. Elias, of course, taking his shots at the Maple Leafs not winning a cup, the Blue Jays not selling out the arena, and the Raptors for Kawhi leaving to LA. So
I'm an Elias fan now. So.
Yeah, but Great job though, setting up Edge coming out and giving a spear. It was like
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That was really cool though.
But Goldberg came out and still shows he can deliver a better spear. Let's be honest.
Okay. So if we're gonna talk about things we like,
Go
I
ahead.
love that Ziggler thing.
Are we go? Okay, I was about to say
There's a lot to like on this night.
This actually was a really good show. This
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Yeah,
It was.
that Ziggler thing. Though.
And
I didn't understand that ever. I was like, what does he keep asking? Okay.
everyone was making
it made me laugh.
the Black Knight joke from
from Monty Python.
Monty Python.
And the Holy Grail.
But he
It's only a flesh wound.
on Monday Night Raw. He actually said that
Tis a
against
flesh
the
wound.
Miz. He was like, "It's but a flesh wound. Come on!" Like he actually said it.
That's hilarious.
I didn't hear
No,
that part.
man.
That's funny.
No, like just every time I just love Goldberg when it, like the before the second spear he said, "I do it. You wouldn't fight," but Goldberg just said, "Okay," and came right back down. I loved it, but I love the before the third one.
Coward.
Yeah, when he's on the ground, Goldberg, and he's just running his mouth, and you hear the music play, and you see him just go, "Oh my god, why did I keep talking?" I like how Goldberg swat at the mic when he was like, "You shut up for the love of God."
It was a great way to redeem Goldberg after
Yeah, definitely.
Super Showdown.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like this was like Goldberg's redemption in a way, but like it was such a good redemption to me. I was like, I love that.
Do we think this is it for Goldberg? Like, are we finally done, or is he still got
No,
more?
they're going to bring it back.
I don't think we're done
Oh,
yet.
boy.
Yeah, I just think they're gonna keep him in air conditioned rooms and no longer let him hit his head on the door anymore.
I hope not. Who else could he wrestle?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of guys who wouldn't mind that payday. I mean, there's no way Dolph didn't get a nice check.
There's
for
tons
that
of heels that he could just spear,
jackhammer, and just walk. I mean, that's always my thing with Goldberg, and I've said this a million times. Back to the booking, it's Goldberg.
Yeah,
like even Corey Graves said, he doesn't work by the hour.
What?
He just goes in, spears, jackhammers, done.
What if he wrestles Seth? Since he's beaten Brock pretty easily.
Yeah.
And Seth has beaten him, Brock now
Twice
in a year.
Although Lesnar has beaten Goldberg to get that back.
Yes, it's true. But that would be
that'd be interesting.
a little interesting match.
But I don't know if they want to keep Goldberg just regulated to heels.
I don't think they would do that because it would just take away from it.
And I don't think Goldberg really wants another championship run at this point. I think he got the one he was looking for his son, and that was it.
Yeah.
I think he just got the one extra one he was looking for, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. He got it. He got his WrestleMania redemption moment too, because the match he had with Lesnar definitely far beyond way better than the one they had years ago.
Yeah.
What about Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre could be.
That'd be fun, but I think if they did that might be the one where they had to have Goldberg lose.
Yeah, I would say Drew needs to go over. He doesn't need to be John.
Drew's getting stuck in like 50-50 booking, and it sucks because he should be a bigger push than he got. I'm not saying that because he was big as Drew Galloway. I'm saying that because you've talked about this guy since he first started WWE years ago as the chosen one, the next guy, and you haven't really followed up on that. I mean, you put him in 3-man band for crying out loud.
That was one of the greatest stables of all time, and how dare you?
I know.
I know. Other likes, I'll say it. Alexa Bliss is a Buzz Lightyear outfit. Come on.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Come on.
That was
humorous.
Pretty cool.
I was expecting Nikki to do some kind of matching outfit though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess they couldn't get that in time for her.
Because Alexa's in
She could have been the dinosaur.
She could have been the dinosaur. Well, she was wearing green.
She could have been the Etch a Sketch.
Right.
I don't love that she's the Etch a Sketch.
The Iconics, I think they lost, but I think they're getting some time. I believe Peyton Royce is getting married very soon.
Yeah.
So they may just be getting some time off TV.
Yeah.
We know who Sean Spears.
Wait, did you guys see Raw the next night? I finally watched Raw for like the first time in months, like the other night. And when Angela Dawkins was like, "Nikki, holla at your boy," Montez said, "What are you doing? Back up, man! I'm shooting my shot." I was like,
"Yep,
do what you gotta do, bro.
What you gotta do, bro."
I think I missed that.
It was hilarious. They were backstage, and Angela Dawkins was just basically pleading his case to Nikki Cross. And Montez Ford said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Back up, man! I'm shooting my shot."
Wow.
Yeah.
Ready for the WWE.com special backstage video when Damo shows back up.
For real.
Pop of the night, and this is kind of something that was kind of 50-50 on likes and dislikes, but the pop of the night was definitely for The Fiend after his whole thing. And this is something we can debate. That was loud. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Edit that, please.
I'll edit that.
Sweet.
What?
Anyway,
What's going on?
Just lost my
the
hearing.
entrance.
Can't hear
If
what?
you're going for creepy,
Jeez.
you nailed it.
Yeah.
First of all, the lantern with Bray Wyatt's old head on it.
Yeah,
sick.
that was the creepiest thing I.
Although
Wow.
I've heard they've edited it out of replay videos, and that it may already be gone because it's too over the top.
Well,
No, I saw it on the replay.
people were
Well,
wondering
like-
how they were going
like
to push the
YouTube
envelope.
and stuff
Oh,
videos.
Because
yeah.
before SummerSlam aired, they had given it the rating TV-14.
Yeah.
So they're really pushing the envelope with this one. I don't know if they're going to keep using that lantern on, probably not on TV, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't
And
think
they're probably
so.
not on TV. No,
Yeah.
probably for pay-per-views and whatnot.
Now, the song was basically a remix of his original theme.
Yeah.
It's done by Code Orange, who is a
With
metal band.
Screamo.
Who
Go ahead.
does Aleister Black's thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember who else was the name they did. Yeah.
And Aleister Black. So for them to kind of go from like that hard metal kind of Aleister Black theme, and this is kind of like a slow remix, was really good. I
Yeah, it
was
was. Yeah, I liked
impressed.
So I actually heard that he originally requested a Slipknot song to be his theme, and WWE said no. And then, what do you know? They used that Slipknot song for the NXT TakeOver. That was the theme song for NXT TakeOver this past
Yikes.
I think
Saturday.
it sounds better though.
And he tweeted at, I think, Triple H saying, "Oh, that's interesting."
Wow.
Did he say
The
Yowie
shade.
Hi,
Probably.
possibly. Hey,
So I debated this too with JC because as an adult, I thought it was cool looking. It was creepy. It was different.
very different from his old
But
thing.
as a mother and a mother of small children, I did not like it either. So I kind of went back and forth with it because if I were to take my child to see a show, I would not feel comfortable with them seeing that because my children would probably have nightmares or probably be freaking out and crying. And my children are little; they're 5 and 2. So if they were a little older, maybe I would be okay with that. But as a mother of small children, I just think it was too creepy.
We're talking, of course, about kids. Our 2-year-old got scared of the freaking Reds mascot at the baseball game we
Yeah.
went to. So,
And,
the thing-
and he was crying. Like,
yeah.
But in that same vein, though, I'm sure the Undertaker had that exact same effect.
I don't think so.
No, on
possibly.
young kids.
I
and
mean-
that-
Yeah.
on
Kane
young kids,
possibly, too.
Kane for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way Kane
But I
didn't.
think this one is more like his mask alone is like a clowny, creepy.
Plus with the whole funhouse thing and working into like a dark secret kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's a little more over the top than Undertaker or Kane would because Undertaker's really dark and mysterious and
I don't
scary.
know. Kane actually did set people on fire
True.
Undertaker sacrificed people as like a
on a
Satan
cross.
worship.
Yeah,
And
This
True,
one, this
but
one's more visual.
This is more visually creepy to me.
and that's
like
really
a horror movie.
that's really up to your kids too. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
know how our kids react.
Yeah, but I still go back to the
they-
setting
they
people
made
on
it-
fire thing.
They made it through Ghostbusters. Audie was scared a little bit when you told her, "Hey, it's not real. It's just a movie." She was
That's not
okay.
up to your kids. That's up to you guys.
Well, I know,
Not
but
the parents.
no, it's up to us as
No,
parents. But
but
it also depends on how your kids
For
react to
example,
stuff like that.
if I were
you
to
know?
take them to, let's say, a live event, or even to SummerSlam itself, and I didn't know how creepy he was gonna look, or I went to a main event and he was there, I don't want to be surprised. You know what I mean? And then
I
my kids are
understand,
freaking
but
out.
were you-
I understand though, like Raw and SmackDown would be a little easier, but even though they have the stupid wild card rule that's still working.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, if I know that he's definitely just Raw or definitely just SmackDown, then I probably feel better about it. But I think as a, if I was at that pay-per-view with my kids, or at least one of my kids, it would have been a little creepy for them, I think, especially with the lights turning
But
off and the
If you were
the
there, were you going to
fade.
ask to speak to the manager?
No, of
I'm just
course not. I'm not that stupid.
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's just one of those things you think about now, and we didn't
not gonna-
understand like Attitude Era.
No, I understand
Let's
that.
face it, a lot of kids probably
I
didn't watch
just
the Attitude
feel
Era.
like in my point
We
of
also
view,
saw things that were too young for it. but-
I know.
I also
But
feel
thank you.
I feel like in my point of view, I didn't like it as much.
I get it. Yeah,
as
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah,
JC or anybody else probably.
But
does.
that's the whole debate of WWE over the years is they've gone too far to kids, and some people want to see more things
Especially with
like
AEW
that
pushing
just
the
because it's
envelope,
more
yeah.
exciting for older kids. So no, I get it. I totally understand why you wouldn't want them to see that. And like I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared myself because that mask's a little creepy. Like it's
I don't like clowns, and they look like a clown.
Well,
see,
I guess for me, it's not as
like,
creepy because he just reminds me of the Violator from Spawn, and that's like the first thing I thought of. Like, he's like Violator, and like I literally like immediately stopped being scared of that. I was like, oh, that's cool. But I mean, at this point, I think pushing that envelope with what they can get away with is probably kind of the point of him doing it at SummerSlam.
I get that.
But and also they've already announced that they're going more towards the TV14 thing. So this is kind of like their warning.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go TV14 with pay-per-views, but on TV they'll still be TV PG. But they've over the years been a conservative TV PG.
Yeah, but on Raw he didn't have the he didn't have the lantern.
No,
just
right, the mask. Yeah.
But the mask. I'm saying that like they'll still be TV PG, but pushing close to the TV14 border. They've been a very conservative TV PG over the years.
Yeah.
So they're still going to get away with things like, the bird, the middle finger, the occasional cuss word. But some of this creepy stuff you might say for the pay-per-views with TV14. But it would look great. Music was great. I'm already thinking in my head, Demon versus Fiend at WrestleMania.
That actually was the first thing I thought of too. If Finn doesn't let his contract run out and go back to New York.
And as I understand it, Vince is letting Bray run completely with this how he wants.
That's what I heard.
Creative
which
mind,
you never let Dean do.
Yeah. The creative mind that he has is amazing. It's on there with Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see where this goes. But yeah, it's definitely setting up Fiend versus Demon because you got regular Finn Balor looking pretty scared.
You think they can really long-term book that?
I would hope so.
Could.
They have to.
There's no reason. Okay.
No.
Everyone's already wanting it at WrestleMania.
Hold on.
What?
Y'all aren't answering my question. Do you really think the WWE could long-term book that to WrestleMania?
Could they?
And not give it away in 2 weeks on a Raw?
Could they?
Because that's what they do.
Could they? Yes.
With Paul Heyman in charge, yes, they can.
First of all, Finn's not going to be here for about 2 months. So you can push that back, and then he can come back, and, maybe
I believe it when I see it.
That's fair.
Okay.
I want to see it. Don't get me wrong.
Mike's the negative
but
Nancy.
It's also
maybe we'll get it in Houston for Royal Rumble. You think at the earliest? It is a Mania style match.
I still think
we're not
giving
it
Raw.
We're not getting Evolution, so just say.
We better.
Still
get
mad
Evolution.
about that. No, we're not getting it. I already checked. They don't have it.
Well, by this time last year, we didn't know we were getting one either. So.
There was rumors about it. There's nothing.
Well, if Stephanie McMahon decides to come out and make an announcement,
well, no, not only that, they're not having a Mae Young Classic because by now
they're in the works for that.
Because
they are in the works.
They would have done that right now. Already.
No, but I know it's going to be later. But Triple H apparently came out and said they're in the works and they're trying to finalize some things for that.
Okay,
I believe that when I see it. No,
touche.
Right. Yep.
SummerSlam, right? So
yeah. Well, we talked about that as pop of the night. Most heat. Who do you guys think? Obviously, Lesnar for me.
Dolph.
well, yeah.
What's
I'm
kind of
gonna say Lesnar.
Although there was like one guy in the front row that was like cheering Dolph on the whole time.
Yeah.
He cracked me up.
What's kind of funny was Rollins was kind of getting booed and people weren't into it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the match, like the crowd was going crazy for him.
Which confused me a bit, but I heard that too. I was like, okay, does that do something?
Like I joked, it's like they were like, oh, let's just rewind to WrestleMania and redo that whole thing where we don't ruin him with Corbin this time.
That's true.
Natalia didn't get a whole lot of cheers either in her home country. Even the next night on Raw, she was getting beat up.
The Monday Night Raw thing was really...
That was weird.
Yeah.
And someone brought it up like, okay, people like Sasha, and yes, I know that she's going to turn heel, but she hasn't been there for 4 months. You're going to get a pop. Why would you have Natty be the one to go out, do this real emotional, personal thing, and get attacked?
There was even a thank you Sasha chant while she was kicking her ass.
I think the whole thing was for them thinking, she's from Canada. They're gonna boo Sasha because they're beating up a Canadian girl.
She was even talking about her dad. Like I felt really awkward. That
was really weird.
It was weird, but at the same time
they did a horrible job building her up. As
at the same time, that
kind
of was like the match between her and like Becky. It was kind of like most people were like they were cheering for Becky. They were cheering for Natty.
Yeah.
It was weird. That whole story was weird to me. Yeah. And then you come out and have I got her talking about her dad, which I was like, oh, okay. And then Sasha comes out and then beats her up because she wants to get that that heel or heat, And everyone's like, "Thank you, Sasha," and I'm like, "Oh my god, what?" And I'm like, "Well, Vince didn't want that reaction."
No, he did not.
Well, it is also SummerSlam. It is a quote unquote smarter crowd. You kind of get the Mania crowd with this.
The Monday after WrestleMania,
Yeah.
they cheer for the heels and they boo the faces.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think also it was more of the sense they want to make Sasha heel because a lot of people know that she's been gone for a while, and that they were saying, "Oh, she's a crybaby." Even Corey said it when she came out.
He does like go
I
back
think
and
they
pout
thought
somewhere.
more people were going to react like that. And it was the opposite.
And even
Yeah.
even Corey was commenting on
Yeah.
that. He was like, "Oh, she hasn't been here for months, and now she wants
he
to
was
show
really
up."
going
and
overboard. I don't
I
know if
was
that was in
like,
his ear or it just him,
dang.
but
But
No, he always goes overboard with her.
but I
yeah.
think it was also because they were trying to build up that heat for her, and then all of a sudden they're thanking her, and it was just like, oh crap!
Well, I
Send
think-
Becky in. Send Becky in.
I think Becky going in was always the plan, but see, the thing is,
Yeah.
I think
they sent her earlier though.
I think they one reason, excuse me, why they are glad she's back is because they know that she will feud with Becky. That's like immediately that was the first person everyone knew she was gonna go after.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
a lot of people were
it's
saying she was supposed to go after Bailey, but I don't know, I guess that didn't work out.
yeah, but honestly, I think
they can.
I think Sasha and Bailey, it hasn't been done to death, thank God, but it's been done enough where we've got
They
the
haven't
great
done it
match.
correctly.
Well, NXT did.
Yeah,
WWE never did.
yeah, but we're not talking about NXT right now.
I think a Sasha Becky feud would mean a lot more in the long run.
Yeah, and we were talking about that too, like in at WWE and even I think NXT. We didn't really have Becky versus Sasha.
No, we didn't.
No,
We never did. Like at one point, Sasha and Becky were a team together, and they even had a match with Bailey one time, I think, or Charlotte in NXT, and then they had the triple threat at WrestleMania.
32.
But you never had Becky and Sasha, just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
You always had Becky with Charlotte, Becky with Bailey. Bailey with Charlotte with Charlotte.
It was
with
like
Sasha,
of the
Sasha
four
with
horsewomen, those two never really.
Yeah.
It was another case of Becky being left out for so long. Why she has a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
So
it's pretty interesting.
also speaking of which, that Trish and Charlotte was the best women's match, right?
Yeah,
hands down.
That was
I
amazing.
will, though. I will say, Ember. I was really impressed with Ember. She did.
I was
came
too.
out.
Yeah.
She came out with some new innovative things too, and I was like, wow.
But
Yeah.
Because I even think like the Natty Becky match. I just think of the, like you said, like of the show, Charlotte and Trish was
and with Ember, I
barn
think it comes
burner.
down to what we keep talking about. She's amazing in the ring.
Character.
She has no defined character.
Yep.
We know she likes D&D and kind of dresses up like warrior or whatever, but she needs a little bit more, something to
get her over.
If you watch Table,
also Ricochet looked cool as
if you watch
Nightwing.
Table for Three, she says she likes she believes in a lot of supernatural things, and her character is supernatural.
She doesn't mess with the supernatural.
I
but
feel
her
like they
character's
need to
supernatural,
do a demon-like thing for her. Give her like an alter ego
Like
that
Kinda
comes
have
out,
to.
Like a wolf?
that comes out, or something in that vein that comes out every so often.
I mean, it clearly works in Impact with Sue Young,
Right.
Rosemary,
Oh, yeah.
and Jessica Havoc.
different
All three of
versions.
them have the supernatural type gimmick, and it
Right.
works for all three of them.
Yep.
And let me even, I even throw this little
You
caveat.
throw
in.
Allie in there too when she was there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But even when Rosemary and Sue Young were here for BOW, they completely played to that,
Yeah.
and it works. Even live at a show, it works. So you can do the supernatural. I think people think it's suspension of disbelief. Have
Yeah.
fun with it, and it can work. But, yeah.
Excuse me. Back to Trish and Charlotte.
Sorry. Yeah.
Trish's last match. We posed that question when we previewed this. I thought it would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I picked Charlotte is I felt like this had a lot of
Passing the torch.
passing the torch, much like Tessa Blanchard and Gail Kim.
Yeah.
Although Tessa and Gail had a much better build-up. This one was kind of just thrown together last minute. But if this was Trish's last match, what a way to go out, right?
Yeah.
Or dudes, any of y'all still think she could possibly make a run with Lita at the tag title?
Yes.
After that match, yeah.
I mean, I would love to see it, but
She's in
it
great
made it sound
shape.
like
I mean,
she came out.
yeah.
I thought she said that it was her last, but
The kind of the curtain call she got at the end paralleled a lot of what Gail did too. So.
If it is her last match, what a way to go out too. But she could always as to use this thing. Let's kind of do the Goldberg thing. Her and Lita come back, have the tag belts for like a month, and then just say that they did it together. And then,
Maybe.
Going back to, we missed this completely. Gargano had a kind of a curtain call thing.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, that's a good
Post
point. Yeah.
TakeOver.
So almost like he's getting
Called up.
Called up, maybe.
He hasn't debuted yet.
No.
And I wonder because I felt like he got one already, but then again they sent him back down with injuries and all that. So I don't know.
Because I think it was supposed to be him and Ciampa.
Yeah.
And then Ciampa got hurt, and then it was just like, go back.
Ciampa's supposed to be coming back soon. So, but I think probably you could very well see Gargano and Ciampa together as a team moving up. With because Ciampa should be coming up back healthy pretty soon.
He's pretty healthy.
Yeah,
he's just getting rehab right now, from what I heard.
All right.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Ruby Riott. She had her second shoulder surgery about a few weeks ago. She had her first one, had to rehab that, and then she had her second one.
Yeah, that's really
rehab
does
that one.
suck.
Yep.
So
poor girl.
Amazing wrestler, but man, she hope you recover quick.
Match of the night: Lesnar versus Rollins. 50% of the votes.
I picked it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course you did.
I half expected Lesnar to hold it till Mania again, but thankfully that's not happening.
God.
Yeah.
I am honestly shocked that they actually booked it that way because
it was clean too.
It was clean.
It was clean. It was.
So I read
Rollins really took all the punishment. Like.
Yep.
So I read it was 100% Paul Heyman's call.
On
So
change dropping the title.
He called it. He even said apparently somewhere in a podcast or something that he there is a problem when your champion is never there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he made the decision to give it back to Seth.
Yeah. I can see that.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, like the fans weren't behind him as much at the beginning. He took the punishment. He kept. I was really shocked that they let him come back from so much. Like his ribs were already hurt. He started taking Germans.
Took the frog splash to the outside.
I think they did all that just because some people thought that he was losing speed after the whole
definitely
Becky thing.
Becky
thing.
Mike joked on our
man's man.
Mark joked on our group message. They basically just hit the reset button, rewind. Let's go back to Mania and pick up from there.
Yeah,
seriously.
Will Smith, it's rewind time.
Yeah.
I think it was like one of the best ways to really build up Seth as a not indestructible, but like a never say die type of guy, which of course we know he didn't be before. But I'm going to harp on fans again real quick. It's like people fans keep saying it makes no sense. I was like, once again, we've had Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show in this company. Nothing makes sense anymore. We have all praised the name of an undead zombie guy who's a mortician. Can we let go of this what makes sense thing at this point?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Also, real quick, I love the Kofi Orton match. Honestly, I like the finish because it sets up more for them.
Yeah, that was a draw finish, double count out.
Now that being said, I think the referee could have done a little bit better job of letting him know the 10 count was still going on.
Nobody knew because all of a sudden it was like
real
an
quiet.
attack. They rang the bell like it was a freaking DQ, and the crowd hated it.
For a split second, I was like, he get DQ for what?
Yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah, I think the referee could have like yelled a little louder, "Hey guys, won!" You know.
Yeah. It was kind of a weird count there, and the crowd hated it.
But I have to admit, Orton hitting the RKO and then laughing about it was probably one of my favorite things ever. Yeah. like that snarky supervillain thing he did was pretty cool.
Now, as far as our picks, Mike and Tommy went 7-2-1, and Tina and I went 8-1-1.
Not bad.
Dang it! If I would have just picked Charlotte, I would have won.
I couldn't bet. I couldn't bet against Trish. I can never bet against Trish.
Yeah, me too.
I was thinking they made her hometown.
Yeah.
Not even a clean one.
And we assumed that Natty was going to lose, and she did. But and then we're like, we got to have somebody else win.
Yep,
that's what I thought.
And nope, didn't happen.
But if you guys didn't watch it, at least watch the Goldberg Ziggler stuff. if you need a good laugh to get you through your day, watch that.
So did any champion lose?
Just Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
Just Lesnar. That's just the only one that dropped. And then, of course, 24/7 title ended up we're dropping that on Monday. Elias's current title.
And honestly, because Lesnar lost, I have to take back some of the things I've ever said about him because
bullshit. You're not gonna take it back.
I know. I am. No. Because he actually lost clean, and he maybe not as.
Watch, he's gonna win the title next week on Raw.
And then I'll re-up everything I've said.
Don't take it back. It was all true up until this point.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
All right, on to our WrestleCast ratings. Mike, what's your rating for SummerSlam?
I'm gonna go 4.6.
4.6
for WWE.
Better than TakeOver. Wow.
It's a 4.6 for WWE. I don't know if they quite.
I don't know if that means the same thing.
However you want to rate it there.
Then you need to recalibrate because Because it should be in the same scale, Mike.
Well, 4.6. All
Nah,
right.
I don't do
Our scale is based off 2 pay-per-views. Like, we're just making this up as we go.
That's true. We're
So
only a year into
again,
this.
your WWE one should be lower than.
Okay,
Fine,
yeah.
I'm going to be Meltzer. 6.7 stars.
Tommy, what's your rating? 4.5. All right.
I'm giving it 4.5. This was a really good SummerSlam. I mean, it wasn't SummerSlam 2000, which I think is one of the best ones. But it was spectacular in its own way. And great to see Trish. Even if it was her last match. Even the bad matches on here weren't as terrible as they could have been.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Trish and Charlotte were the best. Natty and Becky wasn't the best, but it was a lot better than it.
Yeah, see,
It started the show right.
Bailey and Ember, I thought was
it was a good match.
It was a good match. Yeah, it was definitely not the best thing we've ever seen out of either of them.
I think it was
a
the
good
better.
match.
If we had to just go by the championships, it was the better women's match championship.
Championship.
Yep.
Okay, championship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah. I don't think there was a bad match on the card, honestly. That's why.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing. That's why 4.5.
That's a good
And like I said, nothing spectacular, but it was a really solid and great show. Like it's definitely one of the SummerSlams I would recommend for people who've never seen SummerSlam before. So what's SummerSlam like? I'd say, my first one would always be 2000. Watch 2000. Another one would be in like my new top 5 or 10. I'd say.
Okay.
I got to remember what's all the other ones to remember.
It's my top 50.
All right. Tino, what's your
I don't think
rating?
there's even been 50.
Yeah, don't you remember SummerSlam back in 1950? That's when
shut up.
Pat Patterson
Tina.
was.
Go ahead, Tina.
I'm gonna actually give it the same as Mike because I think it was actually a little bit better.
Better than TakeOver.
What's your calibration?
Blasphemy!
No, I'm giving
kidding.
it the
I'm
same
kidding.
scale because
I see
you just said it earlier.
I see
There
what you're
was
doing
no
with that.
bad match on that pay-per-view, and on TakeOver there was a bad match. So it was barely right there, but there was a lot of good matches on this pay-per-view. I was invested in a lot of them, and sometimes there's always one that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go, put the kids to bed, or I'm gonna go do this or do that, do laundry real quick, and I really didn't feel like compelled to do that. So
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty decent. It was actually like Tommy, one of the better SummerSlams.
Yeah. Once again, Ricochet was dressed as Nightwing.
That too
Yes.
was
I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. That I marked out like crap when I saw that.
that was awesome.
Yeah, Steady from the Geekcast. He's a big Nightwing guy. If you haven't seen that yet, go check out the
I mean,
picture.
Dude,
It's pretty cool.
AJ Nightwing.
AJ Nightwing, go check it out.
I loved it. I thought I was because
You need to see that if you haven't seen it.
as a huge
I'm gonna put a
Batman
picture
fan,
back up here,
as a
if I
huge
haven't
Batman
already.
fan, is one of the and Nightwing one of my favorite characters ever because I just love Dick Grayson's like evolution as a character over the years. Really. Anyway,
As soon as he said the name, Mike was like,
JC, you can edit that just so you know.
No, I'm leaving
No,
it.
you-
No, I don't mean edit it out. You can just
take out the second name. The last name.
I hate y'all so
I
much.
think that's what he was saying.
Anyway,
You guys make it very tempting. Anyway, my
I can't wait
rating
to- I
is
can't wait to
real.
watch this.
my rating is 4.5. Yes, I do think it was better than TakeOver.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
Ooh.
So that brings our overall rating to 4.55. As far as my thing is, yeah, better than TakeOver. Overall, it was a great show, not a bad match, and it ended at a reasonable time. Honestly,
But what does that say when the four of us especially think this is either as good or better than the TakeOver that preceded it?
it means that these guys are finally stepping up their game.
Yeah.
So
that. We also have really high
with
standards for TakeOver.
with all out right around the corner, they better.
overall, 4.55. So
Nice.
No, you're the only one that's a different.
let us know your thoughts on the weekend shows. Let us know your thoughts on the G1
metric and
to tweet them at us and let us know. Excuse me. On to some other wrestling news here. King of the Ring is back.
I love the King of the Ring
Been a
tournament.
few years.
It is one of my favorite tournaments in all of pro wrestling. I love King of the Ring.
We've got very minimal information on it other than to find out it is going to start this Monday on Raw. We have 16 superstars. It'll be a single elimination tournament kind of going each week. And the final match will be at Clash of Champions. They haven't announced that much.
Nice.
In a sense, it's almost like 2 King of the Rings, one for each brand.
Yeah.
Because they used to just be like an 8-person tournament.
Are they gonna?
But
go
there's
against
one on
each other?
Raw and one. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be one winner from Raw versus one winner from SmackDown.
That's my
my
thought too.
assumption.
It's going to be 2 single elimination brackets.
Right.
From the Raw side, we have The Miz, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, the Applebee's waiter Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. And from SmackDown, we got Kevin Owens, Ali, Apollo Crews, Chad Gable, Elias, the current 24/7 champion, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, and Shelton Benjamin.
Can't you just see Vince? Oh, the G1 just ended the tournament. We can do tournaments too, right? What do we
King
have?
of the Ring.
I feel like that's kind of, well, who knows? Because he brought it back completely at random. Nobody had no idea this was happening.
And to that, I would have said, where were you the last 5 years when they've been doing?
Exactly.
The G1 is, I think, as old as King of the Ring, if not older.
Just a long
No,
shot
King
looking
of
at
the
this
Ring
name. Who do y'all think is going to
It's
win?
because Moxley's in it. That's
Who
what he
do
said.
I-
Oh, what tournament is he in?
Who do I
What
think
is
or who
that?
do I want?
Can you pick one from Raw, one from SmackDown?
Let's go one from Raw, one from
And then
SmackDown. Who do you think will
and
win?
then overall winner.
Let's do
Okay,
that.
well, I have to for Raw. I have to go with a heart pick and a head pick.
Okay.
So my heart pick is Cesaro. It's always going to be Cesaro.
I figured as
I
much.
get
want that man
I
to
get
win
that.
something.
But your WWE head says.
But I'm going to go Drew McIntyre as like my head pick.
Okay. Who do you think will represent SmackDown?
Um,
We hope that's how it's going to happen. I mean, it makes the most sense.
Kevin Owens,
Okay. And then who would be your overall winner?
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
I mean, who? I hate to say it, but when they go with King gimmicks, he's already European.
That's true. Scottish King. Tina, who do you think?
I'm actually going to. Okay, so I can do the heart pick too. The heart pick for me would be the Miz. I would love if he won, but he's right now he's a face, and that probably wouldn't make sense.
I like him as a face.
I do
yeah.
too.
And
But I love him more as a
And
heel.
that would automatically slot Maurice in as the queen.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But I obviously love the Miz more as a heel, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
King
so
Miz be
my
awesome.
my pick is actually Baron Corbin to piss people off. I have
Okay.
I have a weird feeling, and because he's very corporate, he'll go against Kevin Owens, which will piss off Shane McMahon,
And who do you think will win the whole thing?
and Kevin Owens will win.
Kevin Owens will win. Okay.
And
Tommy,
which
what
will
about you?
then he can tell Shane, "You're the best in the world. I'm the king of the ring."
Yep. Tommy, what say you?
Hard pick for Raw is Samoa Joe. My head pick says Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
For SmackDown, my hard pick is Shelton Benjamin because God, he needs something.
I love his promos where he just smiles and walks away.
Yeah,
Oh, my heart pick for SmackDown is Ali.
Yeah.
yeah, he was gonna be mine until I saw Shelton Benjamin's name on the list. I was like, oh, he's still there. Thank God.
My heart pick is
He
Chad
still work?
Gable.
Ready,
My head-
Willing, and Gable. Damn right.
My head pick for SmackDown is actually Elias.
Elias, really? Okay.
Yeah. My overall winner is gonna be Drew McIntyre.
2 heels at the end. That's how you're going to go.
I feel like that only because it's like Elias is a heel tweener, but it's also both of them are heels. They're with each other because it's convenient. But the second the chips are down, they have to face each other. They're like screw the other.
Yeah.
So I mean, both of them would still probably cheat to win. I just meant who would cheat better.
I picked Baron Corbin just corporate wise, but I also my other pick was my other thought process was also Sammy, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting to pick this because I don't see a whole lot of titles changing. Every title is going to be on the line at Clash of Champions, and then you're going to have this match.
But I don't see them going Sammy and Kevin Owens, and I don't know if Sammy would go against someone else would even make sense on SmackDown. So that's
man, this is tough.
It is.
no pressure.
My heart, yes, I want Ali to win the whole thing. I just don't think. I think it's a little early with this gimmick that he's got. I think Kevin Owens is going to represent SmackDown. I'll say that. And then on Raw, it's got to be. See, here's my thing. I want to say Drew McIntyre, but the way they've been booking him,
Yeah.
it's hard to go with that.
I mean, I agree with that. That's why I'm hoping this is the
That's
thing
why
that
I'm
changes.
picking Baron
This is
Corbin.
this is
Yeah.
why I'm hoping that
'Cause
this is
guy
the
can
thing that
cheat,
changes that
and
around.
He's corporate and all that stuff.
But I feel like if you go Kevin Owens, you have to have a heel on the other side, and my heel would definitely. I'm gonna have to go with it. I'm gonna have to say Drew McIntyre. At least I hope so. But I think Kevin Owens is gonna win the whole thing, even though Shane's probably gonna try and screw him out of the King of the Ring Well, man, if he does, God, that's so back and forth. I don't know.
Well, see, the reason I say Drew
we'll see. We'll pick the former winner at Clash of Champions.
Well, see, the reason I say Drew is like very, very seldom has a face ever won King of the Ring for all the time, for all the faces that have come out of who become face later. I mean, like Stone Cold was a heel at the time, Triple H was a heel.
Well,
King Booker.
A king gimmick just naturally makes you a heel because we're Americans. So I mean,
King Booker.
Unless you're has any King of the Ring been a face?
There has been a Bret
Hart, Steve Austin.
No, Steve was a heel though.
Steve was a heel.
People liked him, but he was a heel at the time.
There have been Ken Shamrock, which is actually one of my because that's my favorite King of the Ring pay-per-view. And actually, I thought that match between him and The Rock is very underrated. If you can ever track that down on the network or anything, actually watch that match too. Except for, not just the Hell in a Cell match from that show, but the Rock versus Ken Shamrock match was actually really good.
And way back at the beginning, Hacksaw Jim Duggan was the king.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we'll see how this plays out. It does begin on Monday. It's going to take place for the next few weeks, and then we'll see how it goes.
Kurt Angle won King of the Ring. He was the heel, though, but I forgot. I almost
but they were heel, yeah.
Speaking of single elimination tournaments, New
Edge
Japan.
was face. Edge was face when he won.
Edge was face, all right.
He turned after that,
Can we just pick the person and not give an X?
For what?
For the next part? Are we picking
We're
a
not
person?
picking
No, we're not picking it. I just have the matches listed there.
Oh, because I was like, I don't know some of these people.
Next week, we're going to do the full bracketology of this. But yeah, we have first round matches set up
these
for.
These are the names I have to figure out?
Yeah. The New Japan Super J Cup. This is the first time they've done it in a few years, right? It's been like, what, 5 years?
It's been a number of years because like what actually took place of it was the best of the Super Juniors. That was the only junior heavyweight tournament that New Japan had.
I don't think I'm going to be on that show.
Okay.
I think
we'll see.
I know 3 people, and 2 of them are facing each other. No.
Fair.
Maybe we'll get Tez to join us for this because I know he follows us a lot too. Yeah. So,
but I think
where
this
you at, Tez?
This one's more of. I think this is that'd have been hilarious. I think this is more Jushin Thunder Liger's baby because this is like he's retiring and I think he wanted to see this. I think he's probably won it the most of whenever they had it. So yeah,
I just have them listed here. I'll let everyone know. First round matches. They're basically going to run. The first round matches are all going to be in Tacoma, Washington. Then you're going to have the second round in San Francisco, and the semifinals and the final will be in Long Beach, all taking place August 22nd through the 25th. So, Will Ospreay versus Amazing
California
Red,
Love.
Sho versus Taiji Ishimori, Clark Connors versus TJP, Robbie Eagles versus El Fantasmo.
That's going to be good.
Fantasmo.
Ryusuke versus Taguchi, excuse me. Jonathan.
He says the Japanese names way better than the Spanish one sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time.
I got a name Japanese in college. Jonathan Gresham is his opponent. Yo versus Dragon Lee. Caristico versus Bushi. Rocky Romero versus Soberano Jr. Those are the first round matches. A lot of new names on this.
Yeah.
TJP, of course, is currently signed to Impact. At least I thought he was. So I'm surprised to see him on this as well.
I don't know if he's signed. I think he has a special
Maybe he just made an appearance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's like still like in that weird place in between places right now.
We need to watch Impact.
He's always in a weird place.
I'm keeping up with it
behind.
as best I can, especially with Bound for Glory coming
That's right.
up
You're
in
supposed
October.
to be the Impact expert.
I'm keeping up where I can. So
I'm a little behind on NXT.
I will
TakeOver.
I will say that the thing in Impact that I'm most invested in right now is Sue Young and Jessica Havoc. Ours starting to have a feud going right now.
Hell yeah. So we'll next week get into more to that. So and then as far as some other bit of wrestling news, and this was interesting to me. AEW at All Out and the pre-show, they're going to have a 21-woman casino battle royal where the winner is going to get a title shot on the very first AEW weekly TV show for the women's championship. How they determine the other challenger for it will probably be another match that night. No idea yet. Mm-hmm. One of the names announced, the one that stuck out to me most.
It's going to be Brandy. Oh, no, never mind. She's on there.
Yeah. The name that stuck out to me most is Teal Piper, Roddy Piper's daughter.
Yep.
Is in this match.
Yes, she is.
Pretty damn cool. So.
That's really cool.
And of course, Jazz has been announced. She, of course, is a trainer at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. So it's pretty cool to see her there.
She finally, I think she finally got her a clean bill of health. So she's
good
back.
Stuff.
Yes,
good stuff. So that's a bit of news we have, and now it is time for 1 minute. Does anybody have anything else?
I was going to say like there hasn't really been much.
I basically said it in the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
Tommy's got one.
Yeah.
All right, sit back and relax.
All right, Tommy, your minute starts right now.
Okay, so going to the G1 Climax, I know that for a second we were all like, who's gonna win, and like we all picked someone, and it looked like those people lost all their first rounds, and
except for Moxley.
Yeah, except for Moxley,
mine.
who won his first rounds, then didn't place, which was hilarious.
It's weird.
But no, that's one reason why I love the G1 so much, because you really don't know. I mean, I almost was swore to God Okada was just gonna just like sweep the whole freaking thing and then go to the finals and then probably end up losing anyway. But no, that's one reason why I love the G1. It's so fun, so unpredictable, and to me, that's just a good way to book the tournament, because even the people who came out losing came out looking really strong. Lance Archer. He had one of the best showings
Make him strong.
I think he's ever had in his career. Because
Make Archer look strong.
For real. We were talking. I mean, like Baron Corbin, Lance Archer have been doing the same thing essentially, except Lance is a better wrestler, has been booked better, and he's been looking way stronger even in the matches that he loses.
And he's a better wrestler.
And he doesn't waiter at Applebee's.
Thank God. And I love his Mad Max gimmick. When he showed up at
And
Dallas,
he doesn't wear like a vest, jack, like he's going to freaking go be a waiter at Applebee's.
So me and my fiance, we like she really loves like the Mad Max stuff. So he came out dressed like the Mad Max thing. She like marked out really. She was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
And how great was it too? You got to be a part of this G1, being there for night one.
Ah, that was so great.
So it's almost like you're his good luck charm. You should probably go to all of them.
Yeah,
if
he should fly you out to
Japan.
Japan.
If he can fly back to Japan to come to all his shows,
Lance, if you get a title shot at Wrestle Kingdom for something, fly this guy out there.
I will happily be there for both days.
Get him ringside. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know about
I
that.
might cry if I'm ringside. I might just burst into tears.
Emotional Tommy front row.
There's Tommy crying.
Yep.
Oh, let's also tell me this.
My 1 minute. I'm going to.
Start it then, man.
I'm congratulating Ray Rowe, aka Eric, from the War Raiders. That's their name now, right? No, the Viking Raiders.
The Viking
Jesus
Raiders.
Christ, how many names they got?
Viking experience.
That's the
War
finisher.
Viking experience.
5 years ago.
Oh, that's the finisher now.
5 years ago on Monday, he was in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Almost died.
Probably should have lost his life, and we were all, being that he was wrestling in San Antonio around Texas, very concerned for him. And I remember when he first got back, we saw him at a Ring of Honor show. It was in San Antonio. And after the show hung around, he came out, saw. I remember seeing me and Tina, had the biggest smile on his face. He was so happy to be back. He looked great. Clean bill of health. He looked good. He was so happy and very thankful that he made it out of that alive.
Absolutely.
And now here he is 5 years later, still wrestling on Raw. Big time.
Man.
Yes. How many steel plates he's got in his arm?
I don't know, dude.
So,
it was that I remember seeing his X-rays. They were vicious.
But congrats, if you want to say near-death experience, you got a new lease on life and you have made the most of it. Keep it going. I know there's reports out there that Vince isn't sold on your gimmick right now and your tag team. Keep busting ass. Keep pushing hard. You guys are going to get your shot. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Keep working your ass off. It might. Yeah, you guys have something great going on right now. The name might be but just keep it going. So
it's actually gotten better.
In that time, he's got married.
Viking Raiders is way better than Viking Experience. But then the finisher is called Viking Experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
So
either way, congrats. Keep going, man. Best of luck to you.
So we before you mentioned that, I remember, I forget what show it was. The 2 weeks after, it was like a month after the accident. He came down to San Antonio and talked to the crowd, just saying, "I'm gonna come back," and we were like, saying, if you do, great, but don't
died.
Yeah, but don't push yourself. If you come back, awesome, but don't push yourself. And then he came back. We were like, okay, you did what you said you were gonna do. We're gonna shut up now.
And then about also prayers for Showtime. You got bitten.
Yes, apparently Showtime, Scott Summers, a local wrestler here, Oliver, Texas as well, got bit by a brown recluse spider. One
Crazy.
of those very poisonous spider, bit near his eye too. So
those things are dangerous as well.
Pretty graphic pictures, but he seems to be recovering well, thankfully.
Yeah.
Oh, and for recovery, continue recovery for Angel Blue.
Yes. Talk to her briefly. It's getting better for her. Please donate to the GoFundMe. I'll have a link, of course, in the description.
Sure, on my page.
She thankfully has got a place to live. She was homeless for a little while for reasons beyond her control, but she does have a surgery coming up to basically fix some herniated discs in the coming months. So we look forward to hopefully she gets healthy. We look forward to her recovery and seeing her back in the ring. I know she misses it. I know she loves it. So hang in there, Angel. We're all praying for you. We're all thinking positive thoughts for you. Hope to see you back soon. So. And finally, we made it a year. I want to
This
first.
is our year show, guys.
Before
Holy
we always
crap.
had this idea. Before I got involved with the Geekcast, we always had this idea. We want to do like a wrestling podcast. Never knew how to do it. Always wanted to do some sort of thing. We sit around and talk about wrestling for so much, right?
Yeah, because we were doing this long before we ever had the show.
Yeah, and
we would talk about it while we were watching the pay-per-views.
and
Let's
Steady.
do this, guys. Let's do this.
Was talking with Steady's like, I need more content for our YouTube show. Even then, looking for content for the podcast in general because we weren't pushing out episodes every week. And I said, well, my wife, my friends, and I have been talking about wanting to talk a wrestling podcast or show for a while. We got this crazy idea. Mike was good to go, but he was so busy beginning of the school year. Didn't join us till Survivor Series. But I called Tommy and said, hey, do you want to do something like this? He's like, yeah, sure. We just showed up.
And I live here, so.
Yeah.
So I was here.
Our first show, just the three of us here.
The timing of that
No
was
green
fantastic.
screen, no microphones, and Steady sitting there recording it and doing the editing for the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Steady, without you.
I don't think we had a theme or anything.
No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't even have our saying. We had a shirt.
I actually was going through like cleaning up some stuff in my office, and I found the original like notes I had written up for our agenda for the very first show.
Wow.
I should have brought him here,
Frame
but I
it.
found. Yeah, I know I should, right? If this
You
takes
should.
off.
Yeah.
But
We
thank
did-
you, Steady, for giving us this platform and giving us the YouTube channel to like build it up.
I remember we had him cracking up behind the camera.
Yes, we did a few times.
So
So-
he just like I had
He
to
even
stop
said,
himself.
he goes, I can't believe how much y'all know about wrestling.
Yeah.
So thank you again for getting us started with this, letting us borrow the equipment as often as we do to do this show.
I will say one thing too. It's when JC has Crohn's disease and he got diagnosed. It was a little rough at first when first getting the diet and everything. But it's a lot different when you have to change everything about your life. And for me, especially for JC, this has been a really big like stress reliever, and also a really big like something for fun that we can do and just hang around with our friends. This is the nicest thing too, is we see our friends every Monday, Tuesday night, every week pretty much. Sometimes we have different things, interviews or something, but and those weeks we take off. But it's nice to see each other more often. And maybe not even just talk about wrestling, just talk about life.
Yeah.
You've seen our blooper reel. We talk about a bunch of stuff.
Before we tape, well, even before that, we talk about, hi, how you been? Da, 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 and then we start recording and act like a fool. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's been a growing experience because I am a teacher and I'm used to talking in front of a bunch of kids, but I'm not used to talking in front of a mic and nothing. Hi, I don't see you guys. Hi. But, but I think for all of us, it made us grow as individuals in some way or capacity.
Yeah, I've never hosted anything, so that was fun. I've actually went back and watched the first episode. I was like, man, I've changed a lot.
And can we say this? Everyone here has at least hosted one episode. So.
That is true.
Some
Yes.
of us with bodily pain inflicted on JC here because of briefcases smacked.
I don't know what you speak of, sir.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tez. Thank you, Jericho. Thank you.
We miss you.
Chris Marvel, Brandon Oliver, Dylan Dunbar, Sean Hernandez, Massive. Thank you, Nacho, for wrecking the camera that one time.
Gail Kim,
Gail
doing
Kim doing a liner.
Yeah.
Sean doing a liner. Massive doing a liner.
Thank you, record button for all.
Yes, Brandon
They're
Oliver
always
doing a liner as well.
We're always
Yes.
pushing record except for that one time.
And most importantly, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for subscribing.
Absolutely.
This has
grew
been
a lot.
fun. I hope you've had as much fun as we have. It's been a blast. We're going to keep doing this. We're having a lot of fun with it. This year went by quick, but it's been great. I'm having a blast with it. So
Yeah.
And the goal is maybe 1 year. 1 year we can go to like a WrestleCon or something.
let's hope.
1 year.
Let's
maybe
hope.
maybe not next year, but maybe
That'd
in
be cool.
5 years.
Maybe next time they're booked in and they have like WrestleCon in Texas week, they can
Yeah. or
I would
you-
love to. I
have a
would.
booth?
I would love to
Have a booth.
even get a table at StarCast if we're ever that big and just do that. Who knows?
I am trying to campaign heavy with All Elite to bring StarCast to Texas.
All Elite in general to Texas. You guys are announcing weekly shows. Bring it here. Trust me,
Yeah.
we'll sell out.
We would love to just to do more of this and
Yeah.
expand on it, basically.
Yeah. So thank you,
And
everyone.
if you have any ideas for us, go ahead and
Yes.
comment on the bottom.
Our Twitter account, of course, at CCG_WrestleCast. You can tweet those ideas to us. You can comment here. Subscribe to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel if you're enjoying the shows. Next week, we're going to be doing Super J Cup Bracketology. We're going to be picking our brackets
I
here.
don't think I'll be on that.
Okay, well, we're going to pick our brackets
12's
here.
upsetting the 5, just like every year.
I just know Will Ospreay, Amazing Red, and TJP. The other ones, I'm like, ¿qué?
Just like that, too.
Exactly.
So
All
we'll
right.
pick a whole bracket, see how well we do, because the following weekend after we record is going to be the extra Super J Cup. We'll kind of do the whole March Madness points thing and see how well it happens. So,
If I have time, I'll look them up.
alrighty. We'll see how that goes.
One shining moment. It's a March Madness.
It's the
thing.
March Madness CBS thing. Oh, man. Great way to end it. I can just end it right there.
Nailed it.
Nailed
I
it.
want to know what was the first song that we sang on while recording.
Oh man.
I want to know that. We need to go back and watch
Yeah, we
like
should
the
go-
blooper reel or something.
Well, the first blooper reel, the first song we did on there was Belle Biv DeVoe.
Oh, that girl
Yeah.
is poison.
So, anyway, for the Countdown City WrestleCast, thank you again for a year. Over there we got Mike.
Yo.
This is Tommy,
Thanks, guys.
my beautiful wife Tina,
Adios.
and I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
See y'all.
Oh.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.